you are conducting research on your competitors, whether that's the whole brand or specific products, then you may come to the challenge that you struggle to find ideas how to create ads either for them because they could be a potential client of yours, or you want to use competitor USPs to come up with ideas that you can translate for your own brand or your own products. And as there are probably many competitors or products, it is quite a challenging task to do that. So here's the solution. This is a automation that through pasting in URLs into a Google Sheet, you will get a message in Slack with 3 ideas for each company or product already served and in detailed explanation. So you do not need to come up with all ideas, monitor everything and so on, but you will have everything within 20 seconds in your inbox. So now I want to show you how you can build it yourself. You can also find the blueprint of all of this with the link in the video description. So you can upload it completely for free. But if you want to build it yourself, you can simply follow my instructions right now. Build it yourself and also may do some adjustments to it. Okay, so if you have never used Make.com, maybe you're more familiar with Zapier. Basically, both are automation platforms, and we use Make.com because it offers us more possibilities and opportunities, and also it's much cheaper. Therefore, you can also find a link in the description with for free data for yourself. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we need a Google Sheet. You can build it your own, simply create a new Google Sheet, then whatever description you want to use, URL, and then you paste it in here. As mentioned, whether that's like brand URL or a product page, doesn't matter, whatever you want to use as inspiration. So then you are in Make.com, you probably have to show it to you scenarios. You create a new scenario on the top right corner here. And then here on the plus, you create a new scenario by Google Sheet and you search for watch new rows. If you have not yet connected your Google Sheets account, simply click here on Add, then you will ask to a couple of verification steps and you simply accept. Okay, next, you here search method, search by path, drive, my drive, and then spreadsheet ID, you click on here and then you simply search for the name that you have put into this file here. Here, this is like some sample data. These are manufacturers of headphones, so I called it headphones. You can use it whatever way you like, and then I search for it, I find headphones, and then it will load for a couple of seconds and already pull in the data. I only have one sheet, so I choose this one. Here, table contains headers, means that you have here in the first line headers, meaning descriptions. We have this, so we choose yes, and then also the row with the header. So if it's only in the first line, then you keep it A1 to Z1, or maybe if you have in the first 2 lines a header, then you can also paste in 2 or 3 or whatever number is truthful. We choose 1, and then we choose how many of these URLs we want to use per operation. So I would recommend to use 10, not more than this, and this will also give you a sufficient result of 30 ad ideas, or how many in the end we will declare. Next, you will get asked where the automation should start from. So it will ask if it should start from the second position here, meaning the first result that you put in, or maybe from this position here. You can simply choose manually. Okay. We simply choose all. Usually under choose manually, you will get asked. But now click on all. Okay. So next you click on the plus here, and now we need the iterator module. Basically, the iterator module is kind of a loop. So we have now 10 websites that we want to get the data from this website. What you could do now is you can set a module for each website, that each website data gets scraped. But yeah, we do not want to use as many modules here and make it easier for ourselves. Therefore, we can use the iterator module, which is very easily set a repetition of a single step. We need to now choose the array. Now, probably you can't do it as I can do right now. What you can do now is you can click on run once, then an error message comes up. You simply click on run anyway, and we need this to pull in the data. Okay, now I have an error message and I will quickly fix it. Okay, maybe this is happening to you here as well. I realized that row with headers, I forgot the set in here, so I click on OK. Then I can also choose right click to once again select choose where to start. Now we see if choose manually works. Okay, now it doesn't, and we can choose the first entry here at the bottom. We verify with OK, and now we run once again, run anyway. Okay, now as you can see, we have if there comes up a 1 or a bubble here, then we can see under here operation 1 the output. So we see that we have here Sony, Shure, Philips, COS, and so on. And in the iterator module, we can here select URL. This is the row that we want to use this data here. Okay, you confirm with OK. And next what we need is the so-called HTTP module. What this will do is it will simply scrape the code from the site with descriptions of photos, of all the text that are on the page. So whatever data is on there will be scraped. And then we choose simply make a request. Here in the URL, we will then choose value from the iterator. Method can stay on get, and body type we can keep on raw. Content type we choose JSON. If you're not as familiar with all these things, simply follow the same steps that I do, because they will ensure that the whole automation will run the smoothest. You do not need to know what JSON is or how it works. Nevertheless, it's always great to educate yourself in this. Okay, then we can choose pass response yes and confirm with OK. So what we have done until now is we pull 10 data sets out of the Google Sheet, and then we turn this into the iterator, and now it scrapes all the code from these 10 sites one after another. So you can visualize it yourself. The iterator goes to the scraping the website, then this goes back and gets the second site, scrapes the second site, gets the third site, scrapes the third site, and so on. This is how the iterator module works. We want to now also use another tool to clean up the code that we get from the site. And for this, we choose not the can also probably, yes, type in HTML and then choose the text parser and then HTML to text. In here from the HTML code here, you simply choose data from the HTTP module and confirm with OK. All right, this will make sure that the data is a little bit shorter and we do not use as many tokens within make.com and also in the next step in ChatGPT. Okay, now we have built this out. The next thing is that we now want to close this loop, and we want to get one output from all 10 websites. So to visualize it may be very easy. You now have 10 websites scraped, and you can maybe imagine of a text file that has, or 10 different text files that you now have with the data from the websites. And now you want to simply paste all the text from those 10 websites into one. And this is what we do with here now the array aggregator. So it is the opposite to the iterator. As the source module, we choose the iterator because this will then be the beginning of our loop. And then you tick the box here with text under text parser, confirm with OK. And now you can see this closes now the loop. So we open a loop, we get 10 different websites, we combine it into one output. And now we have one output that we can use for ChatGPT, because we want to now use ChatGPT to first of all summarize all websites to not have as much data. And then from the summary, we will create the ideas for the ads. So to do this, you click on New Module, then choose OpenAI, and then create a completion. For this, you also need to connect, once again, an OpenAI account with an API key, and then buy some tokens. The whole operation may cost 1 cent, if at all 1 cent. So yeah, you can run a lot of operations from this, but you need to purchase a couple of credits one time. You will find a lot of tutorials for this online, or simply click here on online help and it will walk you through. We create a completion, we keep this, and the module we want to use is 4.0 mini or whatever latest module you're able to use right now. I will simply use this one here for ease. 4.0 mini for the reason that this is the cheapest module with still a quite reasonable context window. And then we click on message. Now you have the opportunity to assign 3 roles for your message. System, you can imagine it as a role you want to give to the AI. User, this is then the main instruction. And assistant, this is then the desired output with an example file. Okay, I will now copy paste all of this because I already have it, and then I will explain to you what it is about. All right, so for the role system, you simply name what this role is about. You're an online marketing expert and specialized in online ads. Next, the role is user, and this is the whole instruction. So the goal is to create an understanding of the following online shops. Then I introduce the steps. So what the products are, what the USPs of the shops are, what the shops' names are, who potential clients are, and what the brand claims are. Next, the data. Here's the available website data, and then you can click in it, like now here, and then you can select this array here, simply click on it, and then this data will be automatically filled in. Okay, then as output, I want the output as JSON. And that's it. Then you will be asked how many tokens you want to use. For this, because I don't think that you will run this automation like 100 times a day, we want to simply have the maximum output and we keep it on 0. Then we confirm with OK. As the next step, we want to have a JSON module because and then choose parse JSON. So because let's say it like this, ChatGPT will put out a short piece of code, and this code has 2 variables, and we want to separate those variables because for the next prompt, We need the first variable at the top and then the second at the bottom. And for this, we need the parse JSON module. Then you can click on these 3 dots here or on add and then generate. Okay, and here you can paste in sample data. I will now show you what you can put in here. You can also go back here into ChatGPT, because here at the end, we already kind of defined what the data is. So to make it a little bit easier for myself, I copy it. Okay, so we open the brackets. Then you do not need to understand it for it to work. You can simply copy what I do. Okay, here's a typo like this. All right, generate. Then we simply click on save, and now we have a JSON structure. And for the string, we choose the result from the previous ChatGPT step. Okay, so now this is also confirmed. And now as the last step, we want to once again use a ChatGPT chat completion, because now from all the data that we gathered, that we now structured and summarize, we want to actually create the ideas. Of course, we could have done this all in this one step, where we could have given it like everything that we want, first to this, then this, then this, then this. But because there are so many different tasks, the quality of the output will suffer from it. Therefore, we separate those 2 steps to have a cleaner and better output. Okay, so as model, once again, we choose 4o mini and then message, and then I will once again copy paste it. All right, so the role now here for our system is you're an expert creative strategist who comes up with genius ideas for highly converting online ads. The user role now is the step-by-step. So first of all, below you will find multiple data points from online shops. They are from the category. And now we have the first variable of the previous step. And we want to use it to already create a context and direction of what the products are and through which lens ChatGPT should analyze the rest of the data that's coming. So then there is a task description, and I defined that each shop should have 3 unique ideas. So you can also change it to 5 or to 1 or how many you like. As we already have 10 shops, now we have 30 ideas, but you can, okay, here's a typo. You can do whatever you want to do, but I would not go higher. I would then simply, if you want to change it, rewrite it in a way that the output also is in total 30, but maybe you say, combine all the data from these different shops because they have kind of a similar product. And I want you to come up with 10 new ideas how this product can be marketed, create 10 unique ideas that I can translate into ads. So give me specific headline ideas, creative ideas, text ideas, whatever you want. This is up to you. Then data here, then we link the data. This is like all the data from the previous step in here. And then we want to have the output as simple text because this will then be our Slack message. Once again, with the tokens, we put in 0, click on OK. And then as the last step, we want to actually create our Slack message. So Slack, now create a message. Once again, you need to connect your Slack account here on add. And then for the channels, you can either paste in the channel ID or select from the list. If you have private channels, then it might be that the private channel will not be listed here under the channels. I have now a public channel, so I will find it. But if you struggle to find your channel in this list, then you need to use the channel ID. So now in the text in here, we can simply paste in the result, the output from the previous step, Maybe you want to give a standard headline. So for example, you can type in something, add ideas, websites. If you put a star at the front and at the end, then this will mark the text in bold in Slack, and then result, and then you can click on OK. So now this is the automation, and we can already run it now for one more time. I once again choose where I want to start so that I have like all the data, and then you will see how quickly this is actually working. All right, so now. All right, so light is on, it's getting dark. I ran it and I realized an optimization that we can do. So now at the end, we do something that we should have done in the beginning, but that's the way to work with these automations. We do not need the iterator module right now because it may cause problems. So therefore, if you have built it with myself, then you click on right click, delete module, and then you go back to the array aggregator, and as a source module, you choose the Google Sheet, confirm OK. If it looks like this now with here, this big space in between, you can click on the magic wand right down here, and then it will auto align. And now if we run it, the URL have to put in once again. Okay. Now if we run it, or before we run it, we once again choose where we want to start. Okay. And then we simply click on run once. Okay, now the automation was stopped. And this is good that this happened because I wanted to show you what will happen if an error is created. And you may have seen also a different kind of structure in the beginning. So now when we have like a cycle like this right here, whenever an error happens, it will stop everything. So imagine you want to like scrape now 10 websites, but at the 9th website, something happens, then everything is gone. So we want to define now what happens when an error happens at a specific module so that the error won't stop everything, but it will simply skip it. For us, it's not as important that when we have like 10 websites that all 10 have to work. We're also fine with 9 or 8. So when an error like this happens, you see it in red like this here. And then we can first of all see what happens. So sometimes, this happens quite often when we have website scrapes through the HTTP module. Then we get a notification that there have been too many redirects. Okay, so now how we handle this. We make a right click and then choose error handler. And from this, we simply choose ignore, because whenever an error happens, we don't care. The same thing we now do to the text parser, because when the error happens, then also there will be no text to be parsed. So we also want to make sure that this module here doesn't return an error when this has happened. Also choose ignore. Okay, now we realign once again. Now it looks nicer, and then we can run once again to have a final output. All right, now we have successfully ran our automation. As you can see, we had one start, then we had 10 websites that were scraped. We also had one error once again. Like if you want to then use this website once again, you can click in here. Okay, now it doesn't return the error, but here at operation 8, once again the same website. Okay, then we had like one output here. You can see that there were 10 inputs and then one output is an array, and this went into ChatGPT. You can click on each bubble, and then under output and results, you can see what happened there. Okay, then the text got parsed here through the JSON module, we had ChatGPT. Here we can also see the results, very long text. And then also the Slack message got successfully created. Here we can see that the text was created. And if I take a look into my Slack channel, then I also see that there has been a text. You can, of course, instruct ChatGPT to structure it in a certain manner, but yeah, this will then be too much for today. I think the main thing is that you have an automation that can create ad ideas for yourself based on other websites. So I hope this was valuable. You will find the blueprint in the description. If you then create a scenario like I showed you in the beginning, you can click here on these 3 dots, then import blueprint, and then select the file, and then you will have everything in here. You will then need to connect your own accounts, but then this will be everything. And what you then can do is every time you paste in here in new URLs, you can either start it manually every time by running once, or you can also put it on, like here. So now it's on, and every 15 minutes or whenever a new row is added, it will check for it. And if it finds new rows, then it will automatically run through the whole process and return you a Slack message. So you can simply leave it on so that you know the only thing that you need is to save yourself a shortcut to this sheet. You paste in new links, and whenever this has happened, the automation will run and send you a Slack message once it has successfully completed its task. All right, if you want to learn more about automations and other automations that you can use for your agency or for your e-com brand, then you will find links to other free automations in the description. If you found this valuable, then please subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any new notifications for new automations, and I look forward to seeing you in one of the other videos.